state of Illinois continues to defend itself against the U.S. Department of Justice, suing over laws they say make the state less safe and also shield non-citizens ineligible for employment from getting employment. I'm Greg Bishop. It's Illinois in Focus Daily on this Monday, May 12th. Good morning. And you can find this show each and every weekday morning live here with YouTube and the Center Square. Just like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We've been tracking the U.S. Department of Justice and their challenges of Illinois law since one in particular was filed in February after U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi took office under the Trump administration. Among her first acts was to sue the state of Illinois, Cook County, and the city of Chicago, looking at, in particular, two Illinois laws, the Trust Act and a Way Forward Act, but also looking at, say, the Chicago City's welcoming ordinance. And those measures essentially saying that state and local law enforcement cannot cooperate with federal immigration officials and in the efforts to try to detain non-citizens in the country illegally. This obviously was a flashpoint last week whenever the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem visited Springfield. And if you missed the conversation about that, be sure to check out previous videos here with the Center Square on YouTube for Illinois in Focus, where we highlighted we were part of that motorcade driving around Springfield, where Kristi Noem said, hey, Governor Pritzker, you need to change your ways on this. But we've also got the lawsuits where the Department of Justice is suing the Illinois Department of Labor over a state law that essentially says, well, at least the Department of Justice says, is shielding non-citizens. So we've got a motion for preliminary injunction now that was filed on Friday from the U.S. Department of Justice. It's a 35-page motion for a preliminary injunction. And those of you who've tracked, say, the gun ban litigation, this is a preliminary injunction. It's not on the merits. So they're asking for the court to take some kind of action to ultimately say this law can't be in force while this case plays out. So that's a preliminary injunction. And this is on the E-Verify case. So this was the latest where they said, hey, state of Illinois, Department of Labor, this law that you say is about worker privacy is actually causing some problems when it comes to verifying whether or not somebody's eligible to work in the United States with the federal E-Verify process. So let's take a look at some of the table of contents here just to get an overview, right? We're not going to read the entire 35 pages here on the air, but getting a look at the overview, I think, gives you a good idea. So the Department of Justice saying the federal framework governing immigration and the employment eligibility verification process, immigration reform, they look at the Act, the I-9 inspection process, and they also highlight E-Verify. They talk about Illinois Senate Bill 508, notification and requirements and prohibitions, and the consequences of Senate Bill 508. And then they make their argument about how it's expressly preempted by federal law, is also field preempted, and frustrates Congress's objectives. So that's why they say that the U.S. is likely to prevail on the merits in this preliminary injunction request, this motion for preliminary injunction. They then talk about the enforcement challenges and so on. But I do want to go to, let's take a look at the consequences of Senate Bill 508. So page 9, let's get all the way to page 9 after we get through the legal filing notes. Page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7, page 8, page 9. So here we are. Argument. SB 508 provisions at issue in the case are preempted and invalid under each of the preemption doctrines. It highlights various sections expressly preempted by U.S. law. Second, Senate Bill 508 is preempted because Congress has enacted a comprehensive framework of laws. Is this page... It's legal standard. Okay, well... Where did I find that? It was in the table of contents, and it said consequences, right? Yeah, consequences of Senate. Okay. So ultimately, I mean, like we've looked at before with the initial document, they said that it frustrates federal enforcement. It shields non-citizens and makes it more difficult to hold bad actors accountable. And how they are looking to get this overturned through preliminary injunctions, and then ultimately, I guess, an effort to have the merits debated and have a permanent injunction. That's what's at play here. This may take a while and have all of the variety of different challenges play out in courts to where you get months and months and months and months. I mean, we've been watching the gun ban challenge for how long? But let's take a look here. Enforcement of the challenged Senate Bill 508 provisions will cause irreparable harm. They say under demonstrating a likelihood of success on the merits, a plaintiff must also establish that absence of preliminary injunction, there is a likelihood the defendant's conduct will cause irreparable harm. So they want that preliminary injunction right away. They say that the provisions of Senate Bill 508 are intended to insidiously impede the enforcement of immigration laws, and they have their intended effect. In doing so, the provisions inflict irreparable harm on the United States and on the public interest in enforcing immigration laws. They say without an injunction prohibiting enforcement of the challenged Senate Bill 508 provisions, Congress' carefully crafted immigration regime will be unlawfully frustrated. As noted above, Congress designed employment eligibility verification provisions to place employers at the front line of ensuring that their workforce is free of unauthorized labor, thereby protecting American workers. The challenged provisions only add administrative costs and burdens to that statutory mandate and necessarily discourage employers from effectively carrying it out, particularly through participating in E-Verify. So a lot's going to happen with this case. Preliminary injunction motion. Down the line, they'll decide on that. Might go to the appeals court, might go to the U.S. Supreme Court, and then they'll get to the merits at some point. So that's the E-Verify case. But you've got the other case concerning the sanctuary laws in Illinois. The state filed a motion to dismiss. There was a motion by the DOJ for summary judgment, meaning they want this case finalized in the district courts before it goes to the appeals court. Those motions are pending. You've got the judge in that case that's going to have to decide in the district court on that motion to dismiss the sanctuary state challenge and the Department of Justice's summary judgment case. So that's where we're at with these things. Meanwhile, late last week, President Donald Trump announced that he's signed an executive order.
Executive order to launch the first ever self-deportation program for illegal aliens. We are making it as easy as possible for illegal aliens to leave America. Any illegal alien can simply show up at an airport and receive a free flight out of our country. We have also launched a phone app called CBP Home. That's CBP Home, where illegals can book a free flight to any foreign country. As long as it's not here, you can go anywhere you want. We're also adding a very important exit bonus for illegals to further incentivize their self-deportation. This deportation bonus will save American taxpayers billions and billions of dollars. What Biden did to this country can never be explained, will never, ever be accepted. Eventually, when the illegals are gone, it will save us trillions of dollars. However, if illegal aliens choose to remain in America, they're remaining illegally and they will face severe consequences. Illegal aliens who stay in America face punishments including significant jail time, enormous financial penalties, confiscation of all property, garnishment of all wages, imprisonment and incarceration, and sudden deportation in a place and manner solely of our discretion. So to all illegal aliens who book your free flight right now, we want you out of America, but if you're really good, we're going to try and help you get back in. Thank you.
So the president laying that out there, talking about an exit bonus even. Will that change things? Be interesting to see in the next month how many people actually take the president up on that. We'll be watching closely. It is Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop with the Center Square. You can get headlines in your inbox each and every weekday morning. Go to thecentersquare.com and sign up today and get this program each and every weekday morning here on YouTube with the Center Square. It is Illinois in Focus Daily.